Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and fascinating coins in US history, the 1944 wheat penny. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's interested in valuable finds, this is a video you won't want to miss. We'll explore the key features of this coin, look at what makes it so valuable, and of course, show you how to spot one in your own collection. Stick around because this could be the start of a thrilling treasure hunt for you. First, let's take a look at the key features of the 1944 wheat penny. The obverse, or front side, features the famous image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This image, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been a staple of the Lincoln Cent series since it was first introduced in 1909. On the 1944 wheat penny, Lincoln's profile is centered, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year, 1944. Now, when you flip the coin over, you'll see the reverse, or back side, which is where the real story lies. The wheat penny gets its name from the two wheat stalks that frame the coin, with the words, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "1 cent" inscribed in the middle. The design was created by Victor David Brenner as well, and it remained unchanged on the Lincoln Cent from 1909 to 1958. The wheat stalks symbolize prosperity and abundance, and the coin has become a symbol of American history. Now, onto the really exciting part: why is the 1944 wheat penny so valuable? It's not just the design that makes this penny a collector's dream, it's actually some very unique features and historical context that add value to it. For starters, 1944 is a very important year in U.S. history. During this time, the country was deeply entrenched in World War II, and the U.S. Mint had to make some changes to its coinage due to wartime metal shortages. In 1943, the U.S. Mint actually made a steel penny, using a different metal for the first time in American history. But by 1944, the Mint returned to the traditional copper planchets used to strike the wheat penny. However, because of the metal shortage, some of the 1944 wheat pennies were struck on shell casings that were made of steel. These rare pennies are often referred to as the 1944 steel penny, and they are one of the most valuable and sought-after errors in the coin collecting world. The 1944 steel penny is not only rare but also quite different from the typical 1944 copper pennies, which is why it stands out. But how do you tell the difference between a regular copper 1944 penny and a 1944 steel penny? It's all about the color and weight. The steel penny will have a slightly more silvery appearance and will be lighter in weight than the copper counterpart. If you have a 1944 penny that looks silvery or shiny, you may want to check it more closely to see if it's one of these rare steel pennies. So, what exactly makes the 1944 wheat penny valuable? Well, the coin's value primarily depends on its condition, rarity, and any errors it might have. A regular 1944 copper penny in average condition will usually be worth just a few cents, but if you're lucky enough to find a 1944 steel penny, you could be looking at a serious payout. These steel pennies are incredibly rare and, in mint condition, can be worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about some errors and what to look for when you're hunting for a 1944 wheat penny. The most valuable error on the 1944 penny is the steel penny, but there are other lesser-known errors you should keep an eye out for. For example, some 1944 pennies were struck off-center, creating an interesting visual effect where the design looks misaligned. This type of error, while not as valuable as the steel penny, still adds to the uniqueness and collectible value of the coin. You'll also want to watch for die cracks or double dies, which can create a doubled image on the date, lettering, or other parts of the coin. These errors can really boost the value, especially when the doubling is clear and noticeable. Another key thing to consider when evaluating the value of your 1944 wheat penny is its condition. Like many collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher the price. Coins that are in mint condition or uncirculated are far more valuable than those that are worn down or damaged. A well-preserved 1944 penny can fetch a significant amount more than one that's been heavily circulated. Now, let's get down to the coin value and how much these pennies are worth. A regular 1944 copper penny in good or average condition typically won't fetch more than a few dollars, but a 1944 steel penny can be worth much more. In excellent condition, a steel penny can fetch anywhere from $3,000 to $44,000, depending on its rarity and condition. The best of the best, in near-perfect condition, could even see prices that go beyond these numbers, but it's not just about the steel penny. 1944 wheat pennies that are in excellent condition, free from wear and scratches, can also be worth a premium if they are particularly well preserved. So, how do you spot a valuable 1944 wheat penny? Keep your eyes peeled for shiny, silvery pennies that might be steel, check for any off-center strikes or double dies, and pay attention to the overall condition of the coin. And if you happen to find one of these rare errors or an uncirculated coin, you could be holding a small fortune in your hand. Before we wrap up, here's a fun question for you. Have you ever stumbled upon a rare coin like a wheat penny or any other error coin? Maybe you found one that you thought was special. Tell us all about it in the comments below. You never know, you could have a hidden treasure on your hands. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more valuable coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your coin hunting adventures. Keep your eyes sharp and happy collecting. Today, we've got something special for all you coin collectors and history enthusiasts out there. We're diving into the 1954 wheat penny, a coin that has piqued the interest of collectors for years. It's not just a piece of history, it's a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. If you're a fan of rare coins, or just starting your collection, this video is definitely for you. Let's kick things off by taking a close look at the key features of the 1954 wheat penny. If you've ever held one of these in your hand, you know how distinctive they are. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner. This iconic design has been a staple of the Lincoln Cent series since 1909, making it one of the most recognized images in American coinage. The inscription, "In God We Trust," is proudly displayed to the left of Lincoln's profile, with "Liberty" above his head, and the year of issue, 1954, stamped beneath him. Flipping the coin over to the reverse side, you'll see the wheat stalks that give the coin its name. The wheat stalks on either side of the coin represent prosperity, and in the center, you'll find "E pluribus unum," which translates to "out of many, one," and "United States of America," along with 1 cent in bold letters. The reverse design was created by Brenner as well, and it remained on the Lincoln Cent until 1958, when the reverse was changed to the memorial design we see today. Now, while the 1954 wheat penny is a beautiful piece of American coinage, what makes it especially interesting for collectors is the potential for rare errors and the value that can come with them. But before we get into the errors, let's talk about why the 1954 wheat penny is valuable in the first place. The 1954 wheat penny was struck during a time of stability in the U.S. after World War II. The economy was shifting, and the minting of coins was returning to normal after the shortages and metal substitutions during the war. In terms of mintage, the 1954 wheat penny was produced in fairly large numbers, but it's the condition and rarity of certain coins that drive up their value today. Coins from the 1950s, particularly in higher grades, are often more sought after due to their historical significance and appeal. The 1954 wheat penny, depending on its condition, can be worth much more than its face value. If you come across one in mint state, with minimal wear and no visible signs of damage, it could command a higher price, especially if it's from a low mintage or has some other unique features. Now, let's talk about some of the errors and what to look for when hunting for valuable 1954 wheat pennies. As with any coin, the condition and any minting mistakes can drastically increase the value. So, here are a few things you'll want to keep an eye out for. 1. Double die errors. One of the most common errors you'll find on 1954 wheat pennies is the double die. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the die, resulting in a doubled image on the coin. The most noticeable places where you can spot this error are the date, Liberty, and "In God We Trust." If the letters or numbers seem doubled or off-center, you may have a double die error on your hands. 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned with the die during the minting process. This causes part of the design to be cut off, creating a misaligned image. Off-center strikes are particularly interesting to collectors because they give each coin a unique look. If you find a 1954 wheat penny that's slightly off-center, it could significantly increase its value. 3. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks and cuds are another type of error you might find. Die cracks are small cracks that form on the die used to strike the coin, causing a visible line or fracture in the design. These cracks often appear along the edge of the coin or through the letters. Cuds, on the other hand, are larger areas of raised metal that form when a piece of the die breaks off. If you spot a 1954 wheat penny with either of these characteristics, it could be worth more than a regular coin in good condition. 4. High-grade coins. The condition of the 1954 wheat penny is crucial when determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with little to no wear, are considered to be in higher grades. If the 1954 penny is in mint state or close to it, without noticeable scratches or discoloration, collectors will pay a premium for it. So, how do you spot a valuable 1954 wheat penny? First, look closely at the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny and well-defined? Does it have any visible errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks? If you notice any of these features, you could be holding onto a much more valuable coin than you might have thought. Now, let's talk about coin value. The 1954 wheat penny in average circulated condition is typically worth just a few cents, but as with any coin, its rarity and condition can affect the price. Coins in high grades or with errors can fetch much more. For example, a 1954 wheat penny in mint state can be worth anywhere from $3,000 to $40,000, depending on the condition and any errors it may have. Mint state versions, particularly those with double die errors or other rare features, can demand a high price at auction or from collectors. Before we wrap up, here's a fun question for you. Have you ever found a wheat penny or any other rare coin in your pocket change? Drop a comment below and let us know. Who knows, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Today's deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the United States of America 1-cent wheat penny from 1953. If you're a collector or someone just starting out in the world of coins, this particular penny holds a lot of intrigue and potential value. So, let's take a close look at what makes the 1953 wheat penny so special. The 1-cent wheat penny, first minted in 1909, is famous for its unique design featuring two stalks of wheat on the reverse side. This design, created by engraver Victor David Brenner, remained in use until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. But what makes the 1953 version stand out among all the other years in the series? One of the most important things to note about the 1953 wheat penny is its overall design. On the obverse, you have the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the iconic wheat stalks, with the words E pluribus unum and 1 cent clearly visible. The 1953 penny was struck in Philadelphia, and there are also varieties struck at the Denver and San Francisco mints, but the main highlight for collectors is the details of the coin, and any small errors or variations that could make it more valuable. Now, let's get into the key features of the 1953 wheat penny. First and foremost, collectors are drawn to its historical significance. The coin was minted just a few years after the end of World War II, in the early days of the 1950s, a period of significant economic and social change in the United States. The design is simple yet powerful, with clean lines and a clear, crisp image of Lincoln. This coin has a unique place in history, which adds to its overall appeal. One of the reasons why the 1953 wheat penny can be so valuable is due to its rarity in high-grade conditions. In fact, coins that are in exceptional shape, especially those with minting errors, are the most sought after. A penny that has been well preserved, with no signs of wear and tear, will fetch a higher price than one that is worn down. The best condition for a 1953 penny would be one that is graded MS 65 or higher. indicating that it was not exposed to wear over time and has retained its original luster. While the standard 1953 wheat penny is worth just a few cents, certain minting errors or variations can make this coin a much more valuable find. One of the most sought-after errors in the 1953 series is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect in the lettering and numbers on the coin's face. This error can make the penny worth much more than its face value. If you happen to come across a 1953 wheat penny with the double die error, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity of the doubling. The error is most noticeable in the word Liberty and the date, 1953, on the obverse. A well-defined double die coin can be incredibly valuable, and collectors are constantly on the lookout for these rare examples. Aside from the double die error, another factor to consider is the condition of the coin. Coins that have been stored in excellent conditions or have never been circulated tend to be more valuable. This includes coins that are well preserved and have minimal signs of wear, scratches, or tarnishing. If a 1953 wheat penny is graded as a proof, meaning it was specially minted for collectors, that can also increase its value significantly. Proof coins are struck with higher pressure, resulting in a sharper and more detailed image. These coins were often kept in protective cases to maintain their condition, so a 1953 proof penny could fetch a higher price if it's in top-tier shape. So, why is the 1953 wheat penny so valuable? It comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and unique minting errors. The rarity of this penny is partly due to the fact that, during the 1950s, many of these coins were circulated heavily. They weren't treated with the care that modern-day collectors give to coins, so finding one in mint condition is relatively rare. Additionally, any errors made during the minting process, such as the double die, further increase its value, as collectors are always on the lookout for these unique examples. While the standard 1953 wheat penny may only be worth a few cents, the rare varieties, especially those with minting errors or those in near-perfect condition, can be worth much more. Depending on the grade and the error, a 1953 wheat penny could range in value anywhere from $3,900 to $43,000. Yes, you read that right. That's the range some of these pennies have fetched at auctions, with the highest values being awarded to those with distinct minting errors or in pristine condition. In conclusion, the 1953 wheat penny is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a historical artifact that holds immense value for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Whether you're searching for rare minting errors, or just looking for a well-preserved piece of history, the 1953 wheat penny has a place in any collection. So, if you have one of these coins lying around in your collection or in an old jar, take a closer look. You might just have a small fortune on your hands.